doing, folks? Aren't you glad you caught this act?
So it is now time for another roller coaster countdown with yours truly, the Coaster Fanatic. We're doing the top 10 roller coasters at Carowinds. This is a fantastic Cedar Fair park. I visited this on Easter Sunday. It was amazing. I had a wonderful experience, and they have some great roller coasters. However, only a few of them are really good. But and most people will probably already know what that lineup is. But let's look into even some of the smaller ones, more in the top 10, the ones that are not really mentioned as much, because Carowinds has a lot of family roller coasters, more than the thrilling roller coasters, but they do have some. So let's get started with the top 10 roller coasters at Carowinds. We're going to start with one of two wooden coasters in this countdown. There are only two wooden coasters at this park. This is a junior wooden roller coaster, Woodstock Express. It's nothing typical. It's just a relaxing family wooden roller coaster. If you like riding this, hey, good for you. These are just relaxing, nothing very special. They have an okay layout. They're just fun for the kids. Same as this one. This one's just fun for the kids. This one just has a little bit more excitement to it. This is Carolina Gold Rush, just another aerodynamics mine train. It's kind of larger, but it's still definitely on the family side. Although what's cool is some of the tunnels and some of the drop effects. And I saw something, but not too much, because it is Cedar Fair Park, so you don't expect it. But for a family coaster, it's pretty good. I like it. Number 8 is the NyQuil Hawk, or you'll need a NyQuil or DayQuil Hawk after you get off this ride, because this ride sucks. This ride is terrible. This is a definition of a Vekoma roller coaster of how terrible and unbearably painful it is. I do not like this ride. I compare it to an SLC, and I can say it's either as bad as an SLC or worse, depending on how the SLC is. But anyway, this ride is just unbearably rough. I got out with a neck whiplash and just a bruise all the way around my neck, and it stiffened up my neck so badly that I couldn't turn my neck, and it would just be in sharp pain if I even did try to move my neck. So yeah, Nighthawk wasn't good at all. Although I do have to say, Batwing and Firehawk, the other two Vekoma flying coasters, are actually really fun and enjoyable. This one's just not. Number 7 is the Crazy Color Scheme roller coaster. This is Carolina Cyclone. This is a really cool aerodynamics roller coaster, and it's underrated in my opinion. I found it to be very fun, although this is more of a mild roller coaster. It's not family because it has a lot of inversions, but it's what gets you into inversions. Because look, to be honest, look, it's not that tall. It's 95 feet, but it doesn't have a big drop at all. It doesn't go that fast either, and so it just goes through the loops and the corkscrews. And then I like the extra helix. What's good about this aerodynamics roller coaster? This is one of the few ones that are actually not rough. This one was a little bit rough, but it was tolerable, and it was actually very enjoyable. It was very fun, and I really liked it. It made you kind of like wish that more aerodynamics roller coasters were like this one, because this one's actually pretty good. However, I might have just ridden it on a good day, because maybe there are some people it's really bad, but I think I must have just rode on a good day. It was pretty fun. Number 6 is one of 4 B&M roller coasters at this park. The only reason why this is weak is because it's a stand-up. Well, not really. I enjoy stand-up roller coasters. I think they're fun. However, I do not like the bicycle seat, but you already can understand why. But the only reason why I do not like stand-up coaster, or this one anyway, this one, the only problem I have with it is that it's just not as fast or intense as some of the others. This is actually the smallest of any stand-up coaster I've been on, excluding Shockwave, but that's defunct. We don't need to talk about that anymore. But of the B&M stand-up coasters that I've ridden, this one is the smallest, and that's kind of interesting in my opinion that this one would be the smallest of the ones that I've ridden. It's okay. What I like is that it's not rough. I don't get any pains in my legs because I'm getting so much positive G's being pressed down onto the train. And I found it to be an okay ride. I don't really have anything negative to say about it besides the fact that it just didn't feel as intense or was extremely thrilling in any way. But other than that, it was pretty good. Number 5 is going to be a shocker. Now, well, for people that don't really know this ride, if y'all know the King's Dominion hurler and how much I hate it, this is a different story because this hurler is actually pretty smooth. It's actually very tolerable and actually very fun. The only downside to this is that the airtime is actually, it's just airtimeless basically. I mean, there's some little pop-ups, but to be honest, I did not get out of my seat once on any of those little hills. Although the King's Dominion one has a lot of airtime, that one's just unbearably rough. This one is actually tolerable, and I still think it's a very enjoyable ride. Number 4 is another shocker because you don't really see these in the top 5. This is a boomerang roller coaster. This is the Carolina Cobra. This used to be at Geauga Lake and it was relocated after Geauga Lake closed down. Now it is Carolina Cobra, and that color scheme is weird, but I gotta say, this is my first ever boomerang that I've ever been on, and it was really fun. I definitely think boomerangs are worth riding. They're one of Vecoma's great creations, one of those that actually got successful. It was really nice, and of course, even though they're clones, it's a good clone. It's one of those where I don't mind riding more than once. Those are actually very fun, and I love that it takes you backwards. And the only thing I have a problem with is that the final Cobra roll, it kind of snaps a little bit, but I don't think that's really its fault. It's just the way it was designed. It wasn't meant too much to go backwards. So just be warned that on the last inversion of the Cobra roll, when you're coming back to the station, be prepared to have kind of like a very hard whiplash, but it doesn't really hurt you or anything. You just feel it all of a sudden. Number 3 is a coaster I can't really talk about because I have not ridden it. The only reason why it's here is from what people have said, and it's a B&M Inver, for crying out loud. So I'm putting it in between number 4 and number 2 because I do think this is better than a boomerang, but I have not ridden this. I was in line waiting to ride it in the fast lane, and then it broke down for the rest of the day, so I have not been able to ride it. I've heard a lot of good reviews from a lot of other coaster enthusiasts out there saying that this is a pretty darn good ride, which kind of bummed me out, but I'm sorry, I can't really give my review on this besides the fact that it makes number 3. Number 2 is Intimidator. This is a B&M Hyper roller coaster. It's definitely more, I mean, it's got an out and back, but it's got a lot of twistiness to it. The first bank turn, it kind of gives you airtime and then banks to the right, and then has one airtime hill, and then goes into a turnaround, then 2 airtime hills, and then goes into the mid-course brake run, and then does a helix, and then a final airtime here. So there's about 7, maybe 6 hills, depending on what technicalities of hills and airtime, what you think. In my opinion, there's about 6, maybe 7 airtime hills. That's okay for a hypercoaster. That's pretty good. I mean, in my opinion, it's one of the weaker hypercoasters. I just didn't find it to be really intense. I found it to be more intense on the positive G-forces than on the negative G-forces, which give you a lot of airtime moments. However, there are some of the hills, especially when you're coming back after the turnaround, that have some pretty darn good airtime. I found it to be really good. And lastly but not least, this is number 1, the Fury 325. This is the best roller coaster to be built as of 2015, and this is, in my opinion, tied for number 1. Maybe this is slowly starting to move up. I'm starting to grow a huge feeling for this ride. This ride is amazing. It's fantastic, and it's just one of the best roller coasters in the entire world. It just has a huge drop. I mean, it's no intimate, huge giga coaster with a cable lift and crazy drop, but this thing is intense. Let me give you that. I get a clap for you, Bolliger and Mablar. You did a phenomenal job. You had a great drop. That drop was forever, and then you have a great turnaround with bank turn after bank turn after bank turn after bank turn, and oh my gosh, that treble clef where you come up and then you have an airtime on a bank turn. That's an RMC move right there. Good job, B&M. I love this roller coaster. This is definitely roller coaster spot now. This is where people want to go. This is tourist spot. This is tourist destination. People want to get on this ride for the thrill. And what's even cool is just even watch it as they're going over, greeting the guests who are entering the park, or even scaring them for people that are scared of roller coasters, and just seeing them flying at 95 miles an hour. So that is my top 10 roller coasters at Carowinds. What are yours? Please leave that down in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome coaster videos like this. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, coaster fanatics, keep coasting.
shines, Nelly, and the clouds go drifting by. We will be happy, Nelly, don't you fret. Down Lover's Lane we'll wander, sweetheart, you and I. Wait till the sun shines, Nelly, by and by. Yes, by